Dear friends, today we need to do something. We need to toast, honor, and recognize deceased Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But for Ruth Bader Ginsburg's hubris, we would not be in this position today. Ruth Bader Ginsburg had the opportunity when Barack Obama was president of the United States to step aside and allow Barack Obama to make her replacement. But the left in this country built up St. Ruth. They made her into a hero. The notorious RBG, they called her. They put her image and likeness on shirts and coffee cups. They celebrated her as a hero. They flew her around the world on private jets, and they nursed her in her sickness, and they affirmed her, Ruth, 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 Ruth. And Ruth believed the praise. It fed Ruth Bader Ginsburg's ego. And so she stayed. And oh, they celebrated Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth, 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 Ruth. The notorious RBG, in her sickness, she battled the right, and she continued to turn out minority dissent opinions on the Supreme Court that ruthlessly and intellectually sabotaged, gutted, and the right, and affirmed all the left's core convictions, and they praised her. Ruth, 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 Ruth. And then Donald Trump got elected. And all Ruth Bader Ginsburg could do is struggle to stay alive. Because her ego, her vanity, and the cheers of the progressive left that made her the feminist, progressive icon. They convinced her she was indispensable. She believed the press. She believed the praise. And she stayed. And then she died. And she couldn't, because of her health struggles, God bless her, she struggled at the end. She tried to push through. She tried to wait. She tried most valiantly to hang on to Joe Biden. And she couldn't do it. She could have stepped aside with Barack Obama. She was given the opportunity and she was encouraged, but no. She was the notorious RBG, they told her. No, she was St. Ruth. She was St. Ruth, notorious RBG, but for her, the court would be without the intellectually iconic voice. And so she had to stay. And in the end, because of her ego, because she believed the praises of the left, and she could not summon the will to depart to save the left and to save the court, instead, she allowed the conservative majority to become, well, ruthless.